let's get this Fika started. Let's go.
And that's who I always wanted to work for. And I mean, frankly, it's something that I share with people today, that if you think one day you want to become an entrepreneur or run your own company, I mean, going and working for somebody and supporting them who you believe is going to teach you some things that will help you in your next step, that's an incredible thing to do, right? That is, rather than going and working for people just because it's a job and it's a paycheck, go and work for people that you really think that it's a little scary. You don't exactly understand what you'll be working on. Or maybe you high level know what you're going to be working on, but don't understand that yet. You're not a master in that yet. I think that that's what you should really be focusing on when you're going and getting any job. Where are you going to learn, and how are you going to learn? Because again, going back to what my mom said, if you wake up every single day and feel like you have something to do and you have meaning and you have purpose and you're headed towards something, that's what everybody needs at every age, right? You always have to find something that's going to keep you curious, that's going to keep you learning. And that, I think, is the secret of life.
That's an amazing advice. That's an amazing advice, because I have so many college students and recent graduates, even some high school students that are listening to the show. And I'm sure like they're going to really love this advice when they are taking on their first full-time job.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, it could be you're starting with, for me, Fortune was a brand that I didn't know any people that were at Fortune magazine. I opened up the magazine and I saw that the managing editor was a gentleman named Marshall Loeb. And so I wrote him a letter and I told him, I didn't sit there and tell him I was, the greatest thing in the world, and that I had incredible experience, because I didn't. Instead, I thanked him for publishing a magazine that helped me to better understand something that was once really hard for me. And went on and on about sort of my experience and how I used his magazine to really help me better understand things that gave me confidence, gave me the tools that I needed. And he wrote me back and said, thank you so much. Like, people don't write to me and tell me how the magazine has helped them. And that's a powerful thing for anybody listening to remember, because people don't necessarily tell you how you helped them in some way, especially if you're reading something. Maybe you don't write to the person who actually wrote the article. How many people are coming back to you saying, you really helped me in my first step, right? I like things like that. But again, if you're a small percentage of people that actually do it, and you're writing to Freddie and saying, Freddie, you really helped me figure out what I wanted to do or what I didn't want to do as a first step. Or maybe you helped me understand something. If you're a small percentage of people that actually do that, then I bet you'll get a letter back from them. I bet they'll want to help you in some way. And so that's when I actually took that letter. And the last sentence in the letter was, if you're ever in the New York area, let me know. And so I was living in Arizona at the time, and I used my babysitting money, I was waitressing. I used all of it. And I bought a plane ticket to go out to New York. I stayed with a friend of my sister's in New York City. I had never been to New York. And people said, oh my gosh, you're going all by yourself. And I said, yeah, I'm really scared to go out. I'm not going to lie, but I think if nothing else, it will be really exciting. Hopefully I'll get to see Mr. Loeb and meet him in person. But if I don't, I still went to New York and I still experienced something that I didn't experience yesterday. And I think that's a question that I always pose to people, that they should ask themselves when things scare them. What's the worst that can happen?
A lot of gratitude for listening to Fika with Bryce. I really mean that. If you like the show, I would love if you can leave us a 5-star review, whatever you're listening to your podcast. It helps us so much to get the word out there to other listeners. If you have any questions or any feedback, I would love to hear from you. I'm just a DM away on Instagram or TikTok at Freddy Van Hyn. So looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much. Let's go!